Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dadsigner podcast. I'm Michael Smith, the host, and today I am joined by Tyler Fonville. Hey, Tyler, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, it's going well. Why don't you tell folks a little bit about who you are, what you do, and a bit about your family?
Sure. Okay, who I am. Well, my name's Tyler Fonville. I'm a creative. I work for Keurig Dr. Pepper. And I say creative because I hate kind of being cornered into just designer because my mind works like I feel like being a creator or creative should work for all the different avenues you have as a designer. So you should be able to interpret illustration and execute on that a certain way. You should be able to direct a photo shoot, in my head, my opinion. And this is very sturdy, and I'm sorry for how judgy this sounds, but I feel like one should be able to take the creative knowledge that they have and iterate in these various like formats. So that's why I say creative, and it's snobby, and I'm a snob, and that's cool, and that's fine. So I had an art director and photographer as a dad, still have, and he is currently commercial corporate photographer, videographer, all that jazz. I grew up going to visit the ad agency that he worked for called Stone and Ward in Little Rock, Arkansas, which is where I was born and raised. And eventually, I was like, I need to make money with art. How do I do that? Well, design seems good. And I love design. I love brands. I love being snobby about brands. I love buying things. I'm a pretty typical consumer. So I was like, it would be super cool to create logos for things that get on other things like print, digital, whatever. Did a whole lot of, I'm a 90s kid. So Halo and seeing the various UI UX for all cool video games at the time, that wild Xbox like login screen or whatever it was with the green, like crazy globular looking stuff. I loved all that. I took design and art very seriously up and through college. And then my wife and I went from there to Chicago. While I was there for a few years, worked out of a small studio. We did a lot of restaurant branding. Uh, that's where I learned and relearned kind of what design meant for me and how it influences others. And ultimately, getting to the satisfaction of seeing your stuff on shelf is super cool. Getting to meet chefs and learn everything about what happens behind the scenes. That I love that stuff. Just knowing how a thing came to be is very powerful. I feel like, and just helps inform design to come. Then eventually we made it down to Dallas, Texas, where I took a graphic design position with Spire Agency, which is primarily B2B branding. And then I was there for like 6 years. And then now Keurig Dr. Pepper. So um, I'm very involved in the community, as I try to be, because I'm constantly trying to surround myself with designers and creative minds that are like cooler and better than myself. Um, I try to take, it's kind of weird, but I take these things that I find in other individuals, my friends and people I look up to. I try to like pool all these characteristics I find into like a batch and memorize them and think on them and try to apply them to myself, sort of like a creative leech. Or like a, it's probably annoying to other people, but this is how I'm like piecing myself together and building my own identity. Yeah, that's kind of how I came to become who I am today in a very short amount of time. Did that answer the question?
It did. Well, I have some follow ups, but tell us about your family, uh,
Oh, right.
and, as well.
Right. So I have a wife and two kids. One is 3, one is soon to be 9 months old. A little boy and a little girl. The $1 million family is what we were told in the hospital, and I was like, I don't see that cash anywhere. So what are we talking about here? But hopefully they bring me that value later on in my life, and I'll hold them to it. I'm just kidding. I'm a very sarcastic person at times. Anyway, my little boy, his name's Finnick. Is a name that I was honestly, this is a little personal, but I was worried that I would struggle enjoy having children. I have so many other things going on. I love being creative, but what it does for me is take a toll on my family time, either with my wife, whose name is Becca, either with my wife or anyone in kind of like that tighter circle, which is kind of ironic because that's the kind of one that sticks with you ideally like forever. And you want to make sure that that's nice and healthy. However, I'm constantly in this sort of learning state and trying to get better, trying to get better, trying to get better, um, sort of compensating for where I think I came from. And uh, so having kids, super grounding. But Finnick, the name is derived from a cute animal. Just, I was like, Becca, I want to think he's just the cutest thing in the world to me. So let's look at cute animal names because I love animals. And like I can't remember what number it was, but Finnick fox in Africa, it was like top 10 cool, like cute animals. And I looked at it, I was like, yeah. And I built a story around that. I was like, the Finnick fox, resilient, resourceful, everywhere, cute. I was loving the sort of like resilience and resourcefulness because I myself, as a designer, you kind of have to be that way. You got to be scrappy when budgets are tight or when there's no budget, or you have to do something cool yourself and you just got to get out there and freaking make it up, make it happen. I kind of love that being self-dependent, reliant, that sort of thing. So that's why Finnick came to be. His middle name is Koya, and it's shortened from Koyamito, which is an agate found in Mexico, and I believe it's Spanish for beautiful rock. But ultimately, I was like looking online. I was there on the couch, eyes wide shut. I was like, dude, the hospital is going to need our name soon. I got to get a middle name together. Like, it doesn't matter that much, but it matters so much. You got family over here that wants it to be one thing, and then we have our dynamic and what she wants, what I want, and then we're super tired and we're just like, okay, we got to leave the hospital at some point. So all night I'm like researching and came up with Koya. It's a gorgeous rock. It's translucent, has these beautiful arrays of color, and they're formed from like water under earth being captured and pressurized over a ton of time. And not all agate are the same. And there's something about like water and earth and beautiful on the inside, rough on the outside, kind of like there's a story there I can latch onto. So we shortened it to Koya, and now people think it's weird or cool, and so I love it. It kind of rolls off the tongue, Finnick Koya Fonville, so we had that going for us. My daughter, her name is Sora. Sora, also Animal Kingdom. It's a North American bird, waterfowl. It's this cute, lumpy looking waterfowl you can apparently find them anywhere, and they look like a long-legged quail with these beautiful sort of like blue inlay feathers, golden beak, and I don't know. It's a bird, and Sora sounded really cool. And then I thought if we just have two, we have like the Earth hemisphere, and then the sky and stars kind of thing covered, which I love. And so her middle name is Faye. Um, that's a family name, but I was cool with it too because Faye's Comet is something you can see in October. Kind of like the fall, kind of like when she was born. So I was like, yes, we got Sky Hemisphere and Earth Hemisphere. It's dope. So Sora Faye and Finnick Koya. And so yeah, those are the kids.
So you are involved in a ton of things. One of them is your full-time job, but then on the side, there is something on your website called the Dallas Sheeple. Is it the Dallas Sheeple?
Yeah.
And I've seen a ton of Sheeple stuff on Instagram. Tell us a little bit about that project.
So the Dallas Sheeple, that is a project that this guy Cooper Weinstein and I, along with Reese McKinney, we three sort of started this whole thing a few years ago. Cooper and I went down to Austin, Texas for a sort of sandlot tournament thing. I think it was called Throw and Smoke. Such a cool name. And Austin is such a cool scene for weird and quirky design, but also like handcrafted design. I mean, there's some cool creatives in Austin. So we went down there. It was $15, all you can eat, all you can drink. Plus, there were vendors with like handmade leather goods of all the Austin kinds of things, like fancy belts and hats and whatever. The barbecue scene was epic. They had all of these barbecue guys out giving us like rabbit on a stick, a brisket, I think ribs maybe, all in like little, man, it was incredible. And we were there for like 4 games or so. And there was a bunch of people, and it was at this field called the Long Time. So the energy was high, the food was great, drinks were good. $15, that's super cheap for fun baseball. And Cooper was like, "Hey, do you want to do this? How about we start a Sandlot baseball team? I've been thinking about it for a long time and I have a name." And I was like, "Yeah, like I'll play adult crappy baseball. Sure, let's go for it." And uh he had in mind the Dallas Sheeple, and I was like, there's a second of my designer kind of mind. I was like, no, we have to reconsider. Like, we have to keep, like, nah, is that the best word possible known to humankind here? Is that, but honestly, it's great. It's ironic. You don't want to be a sheeple. You don't want to be the mindless, sort of numb, here with the mindless groups of people going to corporate jobs kind of stuff. You don't want to be led by the masses, but that's kind of what makes it cool and funny. And I love that because it's kind of like we are a sheeple, and it's a punk rock baseball team. Um, that's what we say. Punk is like against the grain. I'll be vague. It's more of against the grain, in whatever way you see fit. So it's very much be yourself. Beer with a side of baseball is what we tell people. And it's this team we started. So on our way back from Austin, um, Cooper called Reese and was like, "Reese, you got to get in on this with us, or else it will fail." And we three started the Dallas Sheeple Sandlot team. We were one of a few teams at the time, and we just kind of did it. That was it. And all pro bono. We were like, as designers and creatives, we wanted to create a brand, get some jerseys and hats together, and create freaking posters, man. Because like America does not do posters well. There's like the super exotic posters that come out of the UK and Europe generally, because they're like way ahead of our time as far as like high design thinking goes. So there was like this fuel for the fire as creatives that like, let's do baseball where like your parents aren't in the background yelling at you to do better. There's no shame here, there's no guilt here. It's like, let's buy wooden bats, let's get on the mound and throw the hard ball and see if we can hit it and have fun. And we've done it for a few years now. We've gained a decent following. We've had a steady team. We've had plenty of, and a lot of us were creatives in the industry, so a lot of us were designers, and we've been illustrating um, all the posters, all the lettering, all the like logo stuff, photography. It's all through us, and we try to get partnerships, which we have a few. Shout out like Nomad and Chinook Cedary. Those guys are like following through. Deep Ellum Brewing was a big part of it too. Just sort of like we just wanted some beer just for the games to give away, and they kind of like helped us out with that just a little bit. So it was enough for us to kind of keep this train going. What you see probably on my side are poster designs, because that was like the most fun. I've done some motion for the sheeple as well. It's a good way to stretch those creative chops. Yeah. So anyway, we've got a full lineup. Like, we manage a baseball team, and we travel. We're going to Cooperstown, New York. We'll be in Temple this weekend, but we're keeping this thing going. Shout out again, Cooper and Reese, man. Like, those guys, if it weren't for them, none of this would be happening. I'd be too tired. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist. And let me know if you want to join. Just join.
And I saw a sheeple bat. Mitchell Bat did a sheeple bat.
Yes,
Uh,
Mitchell
J-
Bass, shout out. Like,
Jeremy was on the show a couple of months ago.
yeah. Oh,
Really cool guy.
nice.
Yeah,
He's great. And
yeah,
I forget what Reese has been working with him a lot. We
nice.
have some cool custom sheeple bats, right? Like you're talking about. Um, I mean, there's all kinds of opportunity for partnership, sponsorship, whatever, especially for the smaller guys out there that want their brand seen. I mean, ultimately, we're content creators and we play baseball. So that's kind of like our angle into the market there.
That's cool. Yeah, a few years ago, must have been 7, 8 years ago, there was a group getting together a Sandlot game in Lancaster. It's about hour and a half for me, and I was like, I have to go. And my wife was like, all right, like sure, I'll be home with the kid, like go. And so I did. I drove hour and a half, and the guys were like, wait, you drove an hour and a half to play? I was like, there's nothing like this by me. You guys are doing something really cool. And there was a couple games, but it was the same kind of concept. A bunch of creatives that loved baseball, that loved the Americana of it all, and wanted
Yep.
to make a brand and then just get out there and play. And it was terrible baseball, but the smack talking and the food
Yeah.
and everything, it was just so much fun.
Uh, that dude, that's the vibe I love about Sandlot. It's all friendly. We're exercising the right to have fun here against a group or a society that says like you have to do things a certain way. So, man, one of our first games was with the Honeybusters and another group with cool designers, and we had live music. There was a full like band. We grilled hot dogs and elote. We had a big crowd, like 100 plus, 200 maybe, people there in as much shade as Texas could offer at this really crappy ballpark. That I'm pretty sure we were there for free because we're not a registered league too. It's been super fun. It's taken a lot of energy and time though. I will say, being freaking father of two now, and making this whole thing work, plus all the other stuff I do. I've had to learn uh, kind of the hard way about sacrificing those types of things to make family happen, because ultimately, like, I really care about how my kids turn out. And if it comes down to um, me having to blame my involvement in crappy baseball Sandlot and that's why this dude's like, I don't know, hating me later at an event, or I don't even know. Like, I would hate it if my kids have turned on me because of the lack of time I spent with them doing really crappy baseball. So all I want is for them to think it was a really fun thing or funny thing that I did, and have spent time with them.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's really good. Are there family events at the games too?
Yes and no. Um, yes and no. We just try to get the games on, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like a bring your own game kind of thing. Bring the frisbee, bring the speakers. So we're working on like figuring out how to market this thing and how to make it cooler and weirder and better than it is, all the time. But as far as like kids events and stuff goes, it's pretty much like we might have a kiddie pool with some water in it, dude. Like, it is not
Yeah.
it's not the most kid friendly thing, except you are outside and you can throw the baseball, which in my head is like fun enough for at least like 30 minutes.
Yeah. Have you seen the yard ball?
Yeah, dude, you have one. That's super cool. What do you think of it?
Uh Brilliant idea. The fact that like you don't have to remember a glove and you can like, it's solid enough to hurl pretty hard, but like it's not going to hurt when it hits your hand. It's brilliant. I have the brown one and then I have a black one. And so but yeah, when you said throw the ball around, I was like, "Oh, everyone should get a yard ball uh because all you need is the ball."
All you need is the ball. And so in Chicago, I got to play some rag ball, or like 16-inch softball. Super new to me. I was like, what is this? And the ball like looked raggy, like it was cool, and no gloves, right? And we sectioned off some of the outfields because there weren't as many people there. Super cool. It was like kickball, but it was baseball. And then I saw yard ball, and I've almost reached out to those guys. Like, I've almost reached out. I'm like super close to doing it. It would be such a cool like warm up ball. It would be such a cool like thing to do a Sheeple like collab, and like, because it's right in the same kind of lane, dude. It's like that casual ball, and you're either throwing it around at the beach or in the background somewhere, some alley somewhere. Like there's something there, and I would love to. I need to buy one. I get multiple, because my kid, like, he's gonna be growing up. He's hitting the ball now. Surprisingly, I did not expect like a 3-year old to be able to make contact, which is the first challenge, just getting the ball to hit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but anyway, yeah, yard ball, dude. I'm glad to have the good review because now I'm probably gonna get one.
It's worth it. It's worth it. Um and I saw that they're doing other colors now, which is cool too.
Nice.
Another question I had for you was around you talked pretty extensively about your kids' names,
Mhm.
and you have all these creative forays with the uniqueness and meaning behind their names. Are you working on any projects, or have you thought about any projects specific to that?
Shoot. Yes and no. Part of it is they're a little young and I'm a little tired to really like
Yeah.
dive in at first. Right now, I draw. Like I like to draw things, and I have a portrait of Finnick I've worked on. I have a an illustration. I have a very like a specific illustrative style that you could see on my I just cleaned up all my Instagram a few months ago. I took out all the like quote unquote design stuff and just left my more like fine art stuff behind. And there you can kind of see what style I'm talking about. It's this kind of intricate, wavy looking, crappy like line work. So I've drawn like a Finnick fox, for example, and I hope to turn that into a thing, like a woodblock print. I've recently picked up woodblock printing again, and I'm working on some carvings, and I would like to do some printing. I think that tactile, like pen on paper, ink on whatever, like I love that, and I want to turn it into something at some point. I do some 3D printing, so there's some like 3D stuff I'm working on. Um, and ultimately, man, the only real project is like, can I draw or create something cool these kids will smile over? And that's it. Like he loves dragons. I'm drawing dragons all the time. I printed a little three-dimensional bust of him. It's like this tall. And I gave it to him and he was like, is that me? And I'm like, yeah, dude. I just created that. It's crazy. It's you. It's a little you. And he loved it so much. I think it's on the floor somewhere now, but yeah, it's that's kind of it. I hope to do something super cool. I'm always trying to do some sort of like lettering exercise, and I would love to see uh, myself create, I don't know, some cool like Finnick based, Sora based like lettering thing in the future. He loves tattoos as well. So like I want to get into Inkbox. I want to create like a cool Finnick or Sora like tattoo. Anyway, I'm kind of using them as content creation ideas. They're not really cool projects, but I think something somewhere will come of it. I kind of I kind of forgot I was wearing this hat, but this is like I've created like a Fonville family brand based on like the where we kind of the family name came from in France. And so it's like a coat of arms, very minimally designed. And so I'm hoping that like that can kind of end up in cool little places. I made like a cool ice stamp, so I'm making cocktails for people. Oh yeah, super fancy on like stamping ice with that. And you can honestly put anything in an ice stamp and it looks super cool. But um I'm hoping to kind of create a little like Fonville brand and invite anyone to be a part of the family. And I'm thinking there's like something there with Finnick and Sora and the Fonville name and like that kind of style that I have. Like there's something I can do there. But right now it's just birthday parties, being tired. Can I draw this here and there? Dragons.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, I love it though. Just the amount of creativity that you can take anything at any point and make it cooler.
Dude,
Um,
totally.
which I think goes back to your original statement about being a creative. It's like all intertwined.
Man, it's crazy. And that's the best thing about being a creative person, in my opinion.
Nice. I have two more questions I'm going to ask you before we sign off, and that is, as a parent, what has been your greatest joy being a dad? And the other question is, what has been your biggest learning throughout raising these kids?
Good questions. Um, well, I'm happy to report on thinking about answering that it's kind of hard to choose. So that is encouraging me right now. because there's a lot you have to work. I have to work through um, to be a successful like parent, I guess. The joy though for Finnick, it's like when he's happy to and joyful and laughing at a thing I did, not like a joke. He doesn't understand jokes. It's more like, look, I created this for you. It's you, like that's where I'm sort of breaking the veil between what he knows is his reality and letting him see the other side of it. If that makes sense, like maybe there's some reality there. I don't know. It could just be as simple as like, look, dude, here's your sandwich, and I made it a circle. Like I love the satisfaction he gets, like that simple level of this is fun, this is joyful, this is exciting. Oh my gosh, Cheetos, hot Cheetos. Yes. I love that he loves spicy things. So when he gets excited about a thing is like very much what I get the most joy from. And like there's the flip side too, which is like there are really, really sad moments, really angry moments, really like frustrating moments that I get joy from as well. In that we have like successfully problem solved or listened or made him feel heard or resolved that by like showing him calmness, showing him like love and attention on that front. And that is joyful too. Seeing him go from like tantrum, breakdown, whatever, to finding the light in the situation. I love that. So, um, and it's hard, but it's good. And then for Sora, it would be her smiles right now. She's too little to do much more other than the eat, sleep, poop thing. But she's very smiley. I did not expect that. That was a delightful surprise. So you can look at her really quickly. She takes a second and then she smiles toothless style really big, and it's great. I love that.
Nice. Yeah. If folks wanted to find you online or follow your work or see your work, where can they go to do that?
Primarily Instagram. I even try to post like live feeds and stuff at times. It's all Instagram though. You can follow both my like lifestyle and my designer account, I'm calling it. So I don't know if you're gonna put the links up or not, but it's FONVL. And I think my like more personal thing is just my last name. No, it's Fonvillain. Because we be villain. Yeah, or Dallas Sheeple. Or I'm on YouTube. I review sake, and I've been creating like a little sake review, silent review series. And that's just it. It's at Reviews Sake. So you can see me silently react to various cold, really good sake. So that's how you would like follow me. I have a website, right? But like usually if you want to get in touch with me, you can probably find my email somewhere or just like Google me. Don't do that. There's a lot of dumb pictures of me online, but like hit me up on Instagram or something.
Nice. Nice. Well, thanks very much for coming on and sharing about your work and your family.
Yeah, man, dude, thanks for this. This is super fun. I've really enjoyed getting to talk to you, getting to know you as well. I need to ask you more questions next time.
It's part of the magic. I remain mysterious, but there are some episodes coming up where I won't give away the secret. I'll tell you after
No,
we're
totally.
done recording.
Okay, yeah. All right, fine.
All
Let's
right.
do that.
All right. Good. Thanks, man. See ya.
Yeah, thank you.